Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Hands to Hester, and Hester, yep, got it, 5 out of 5.
From carrying each other to a natty to carrying each other on the air.
Flynn is back to throw for the end zone. Goal!
Live from the Raising Cane studio, it's Off the Bench.
All right, welcome back in. Hour number 3 of OTB here live from the Raising Cane studio. Always a pleasure to catch up with our next guest. Head baseball coach for the LSU Tigers, Jay Johnson, joins us now. Coach, we always appreciate the time. Hope you're well.
Yeah, good morning. How you guys doing?
Doing fantastic. Looking forward to the series coming up starting tomorrow there in Athens. But before we get there, Coach, winners of the last 5 games. It's been a little bit different of a lineup, a younger lineup. But what has the last 5 games kind of shown you this team? Because like I said, it's been some different people. It's been some people getting an opportunity maybe really for the first time, and they've kind of answered the call.
Yeah, I think we've had some injuries, have had to shuffle the deck a little bit. Some young players have improved. You know, it's something you don't see, you know, while you're not seeing them in the game. But from fall baseball, beginning of the year, side work, you know, live at bats thing with pitchers against pitchers that hadn't thrown very much. And, you know, guys like Jack Ruckert, William Patrick improved, you know, just as the season's going along. Mason Braun, Omar Cerna had gotten a lot of playing time and have improved with that playing time. And those guys have given us a jolt. And I would say offensively, we've had a really good stretch of like 9 games in a row. We didn't have the pitching to match it per se. And at Mississippi State, but offensively found an identity a little bit and scoring in a lot of different ways and competing hard in the games. And that's what we'll continue to do and need to this weekend, obviously playing against a great team.
Yeah, Coach, so a couple of weeks where the games that certainly didn't turn out the way you hoped for or y'all worked towards, but the team's playing well. It seems to be the lineup is hitting well, but let's talk about the pitching a little bit. I know you've unfortunate injuries there on the pitching staff. Are we getting healthier on the mound?
Well, you know, we'll see. We're feeling good about the direction we're headed there. You know, it's this time of year. You know, it's one of those things like the offense tends to come around when the weather gets warm. Pitchers get a little tired, and you know, obviously we have some guys that we believe are really good, you know, pro prospects. You know, and will be key contributors to next year's season as well. So we're being really diligent about this, not trying to play any kind of mind games. You know, relative to Case, he threw a bullpen yesterday. Bullpen went great, but now it's more of like, how does his body and arm respond to the intensity of the throwing that he did, you know, for 20 to 25 pitches, and then deciding, you know, we're in the clear and feel good about it and getting him out there or not. So that's obviously a big part of our team. Big part of the series this weekend, but we're going to be smart about that as well.
And Coach, like even going back to the last series in conference play against South Carolina, like what does the performance of those pitchers in that series mean to being able to only have a couple of guys run out there and not have to go, you know, really, really deep in multiple games? And you mentioned the Mississippi State series, and you're right, like you're trying to find the right tools for success there. But in the South Carolina series, there's a little bit of the opposite where just a couple of guys ran out there, did their job, handled their business, and you didn't have to throw a lot of arms at them.
Yeah, I think if you're looking forward, and Coach Bertman kind of used to have this model of like you have 8 pitchers. You know, you might have 16 or 18 or 19 on the roster, but you have 8 pitchers. And this is kind of what he was referring to. And you know, those guys did a great job last week. And if you look at our team last year, there was a lot of, let's say, you know, Cade to Zach and Anthony to Kaysen or vice versa.
Right.
You know, and then, you know, you're trying to cut up Sunday and Tuesday a little bit. And that was a good formula for that team. You know, when we played our best in 24, it was a lot of Holman and Jump to, let's say, Herring and maybe Guidry.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I like it that way. You know, we haven't gotten some consistency out of some guys to know, you know, who do you give the ball to for like a 9-out stretch and a close game. The other thing we've done a better job of for 2 weeks is we've played with the lead, and we hadn't done that, you know, really a lot until the past 2 weeks. So that gives you a little more freedom and flexibility, but sign me up for the 6 or 7 pitcher a weekend plan every weekend. That usually means things are going pretty good.
That's a pretty good plan.
Yeah.
Coach, y'all had this past Saturday played great. And I think you even said that this is the best baseball we've played all season. And it of course it wasn't like against the highest ranked opponent, but you saw something with the team. And I was just kind of wondering, like, at the time it is in the season, kind of back against the wall a little bit. Your teams know exactly what they have to do right now. It's like either do it or don't do it. Do you think that has helped them kind of step up?
I think I've said this, and it's sometimes hard at a place like LSU for young players, but they're going to get better as they go along. And I think we've had some of that, and part of that is mindset and mentality, and kind of just shift the focus a little bit to how we play, which it's always kind of like been my thing, but like packaging it a little different for them. We've done a lot of video and we've had a lot of good success over the 9 games offensively of like, hey, this is what it looks like, and really positively reinforcing that before we even start the next day. Like yesterday before practice, like there's a lot of good at bats and a lot of good situational play in the game against Tulane. I think that's maybe helped a little bit, bring more clarity to the message or the mission or whatever you want to call it, for this team. And, and just kind of recently, it's like, who's the most dangerous soldier? It's the one that's not afraid to be killed. And like, we've literally been through a lot of adversity. When you talk about injuries, tough, close losses, we've been awesome in close games here. We haven't this year. So like, let's not let that suffering or pain go to waste. It's like, to just harden you a little bit and go in guns blazing. There's nothing to be afraid of. And, we're not supposed to win, these next 2, frankly, on paper and where things are at. So, like, let's go in there. Let's play great baseball. Let's put ourselves in position to win, and then play with the psychological freedom to just get after it and make the pitch and make the play and take the at-bat that we need to put us over the hump.
Catching up with Jay Johnson, head baseball coach for the LSU Tigers here on OTB. And, Coach, one of those players, at least it certainly looks like it, Cade Arambidi, has gone out there not just recently, but really for the totality of the season. And I can remember whenever he official to LSU and he's not going to pro baseball, and how excited you were. We had you on the show right after that, and you talked about all the things that you envision him doing in an LSU uniform. And, Coach, it sure looks like he's doing most of those things right now.
Yeah, I'm proud of him. He's a good player. He's a good team guy, cares about the team, all of those types of things. So he's playing exceptional. So yeah, that's where he's at, and I can't say enough good things about Cade. And it's more than just the numbers to me. Like, I mean, how about the way he's caught the last few games, and just throwing people out. He looks like Matt Flynn hitting a seam route, whether he's throwing to second base or back picking a guy at first. Like he's doing a great job, and really obviously happy he's progressing the way that he is, and he's one of the best hitters in the SEC right now, and I think statistically it bears out. So,
Coach, what is you talk about the young guys? Are they kind of making an impact and kind of growing and getting better and really kind of stepping up? Well, you got Mason Braun, who has certainly stepped up and been a force batting leadoff for you. What has he kind of brought to the table for your team?
Yeah, he's a really good player too. When I think about who'd you get through the draft, and we've certainly gotten punched in the gut, especially last year. But, we made a really strong effort to keep Mason because I knew he was a good hitter. But I'll tell you what's impressed me the most is just the day-to-day work. It doesn't matter if he has 4 out of 5 quality at-bats or has a tough day and hits some balls hard at people. Before practice the next day, he's going to be in the cage. He's really improved defensively at first base. And this thing is about maturity as much as it is about anything else. And that's what I see. And, I think I see a lot of maturity in Mason. He's going to be a great player here for the next few years. Yeah,
and Coach, when you have a young player, and this is like any sport, certainly at the level that LSU baseball plays, but when you have a freshman and somebody that is, as far as like on-base percentage, I mean, the top on the team, and it's not even really close, and just being able to put at the top of the lineup And it's so much more than the physical tools, like the mental tools that it takes to be a freshman, lead your team on base percentage, be the first guy, the table setter right there at the front. Like that's something that you saw in him and that he would be able to handle that mentally as much as the physical part of it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that's always going to be the separator. And football is a little more of a in-your-face, like physical toughness here.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you guys played with guys that were just really sharp. You knew what you could count on every day. And good teammates, good players, and just a model of consistency. And that's what we're after for our team. And you start to do that player by player. And if you ask me, a thing that has breathed a lot of optimism into our team is you got young guys that are understanding that and playing like that. And so you're getting the most out of a Mason or an Omar or Jack Ruckert, William Patrick. You mentioned Cade, still only a sophomore, and then, you pair those guys with, Derek, playing to his capability and Steven playing to his capability. There's your answer for, why we're scoring 8 or 9 now instead of 4 or 5.
Yep.
Coach, Stephen Milam's been obviously just so incredible on defense all year long, but it also, like, at the plate, it seems like this is his time of the year. Like him getting better and being a little bit more productive at the plate of recent. I can imagine that, especially like the new guys, the young guys, they're like, okay, yeah, we saw this last year on a national championship run. I got to think that seeing Stephen step up and be productive on not only on defense but at the plate now a little bit more has got to motivate those new guys and those young guys a little bit more.
Yeah, I think nobody here has any lack of faith in him, and he's earned everybody's trust, within our program. I would say, the leadership thing has really elevated. That's not he's lets his play do his talking, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Or his fancy shoes. He likes his shoes, you know what I mean? But he's not a real outspoken guy, and he's done a good job with the young players as well. So he's respected by everybody. And for me, I said this a couple weeks ago. I don't know if it was to you guys or not. To me, I think he's actually swung the bat better this year than he did last year.
Yeah.
He was hitting into a lot of tough luck early in the season, and now it's kind of like baseball's starting to come around and reward him accordingly, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And certainly has been one of the guys catalyst for kind of some of the offensive runs scored, as you mentioned there, Coach. Catching up with Jay Johnson here on OTB. Coach, with the series coming up against Georgia, going to Athens, one of the better baseball teams in the country. I think we all know that. And, you and Wes Johnson, certainly y'all shared a dugout together. He was on the staff in 2023, so you know each other very well. When you have, a situation where you have a relationship with a coach, he's been on the staff, you know each other, how hard is it to just try to play your game and not chase ghosts? Because you're like, man, I know what Wes would do in this situation here, or, well, Wes might know what I would do in this situation here. When you have, that familiar relationship, is it something you try to stay away from? Because in football, Coach, we talk about it all the time. It's like, look, we're chasing ghosts. We're watching things that probably won't even happen. We're thinking too much into this. How do you handle it in baseball?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I think it's a unique situation with the SEC schedule. Like, we haven't played the last couple of years since he's been gone, other than we played him in the SEC tournament in 24. And that one was pretty simple. Gauge jump, just dominated. And he'll be doing the same thing for the Oakland or Sacramento or Las Vegas A's or whatever they're called here pretty soon. Like, I think I'm obviously appreciative to what he did here. Pitching coach on the national championship team. They've done a great job recruiting and evaluating, out of the portal. He's a smart baseball guy, and they're playing hard, and they're playing with a lot of confidence, and they have talent. I've done more on their offensive players so far, and that's kind of their staple of their team right now, is they hit a lot of homers, and that's going to be a part of the weekend. It's like the ability to take a punch and move forward and minimize and all those types of things. But you know what? Baseball is a little different in that regard.
Right.
Yeah, sure, you got maybe the trick play on offense or the pitching tendency of they had to do this, but it doesn't come up, I would think, as much as in football. And, the game, in its truest form hasn't changed as much as maybe a football or a basketball. And it's always about the players on the field and, and being in the right frame of mind. And that's what we're challenged is our team and our frame of mind. And, And it's actually, there is some freedom in like, hey man, this is an opportunity, and we've narrowly missed some really good opportunities this year that would have completely changed where we were sitting today. But we have one in front of us. The best thing about Georgia right now is they have a great record and we're playing on the road. And that may sound counterintuitive to just winning, but if you do get on top, that changes things in a hurry.
Coach, I've talked to you about this before, but like as the head coach, you are most of the time baseball coach, but like a part-time psychologist too. So like I'm curious as to your approach in the messaging to your team going into this weekend and the remainder of the regular season. Because like when I played football, my coach was careful not to use certain words. Like, don't throw an interception on this play. He would say, let's have ball security here. Like it was a way to message it to where you didn't think about the obvious thing in front of us. What is your messaging, knowing that there's probably a win total that you need to get to in the next 2 weekends? Like, how are you laying that out for your team, or is it just kind of like a obvious, understood, unspoken thing?
Yeah, I think I'll try to subtly kind of do it, and it actually rears its head more on Tuesdays, believe it or not. Like, but I think, and you guys would appreciate this as athletes. It's like, the team that plays the best that day is going to win. Again, I think baseball is different in football where, in football, big, fast people beat little, fast people all the time. Like here, it's not the case. The pitcher determines a lot of it. So I've literally tried to double down on the process of winning and how we play, because it kind of takes some pressure off them. And playing at this place, there's already enough of it. Like, these guys want to win. They want to play good. They, don't like maybe where we are in totality, but, they've been able to hang in there where we're playing important baseball with 6 games left. And I've just tried to use the fact that we're still alive to build some confidence in guys that haven't been down this road. And then you're always teaching for the future as well. And, win or lose, whether we're in the postseason or not, there's a lot of value in, kind of this struggle that we've gone through. And, I'm okay with that. And if we use that correctly, nobody wants to not, be in the postseason, but we can use this to make us better. And, I think this team's doing that in the best way it can. But now it's only about, like you said, like it's the messaging. It's the most effective soldier is the one that's not afraid to be killed. Well, really, what do we have to be afraid of right now?
Yeah.
Like, literally nothing. Like, we've lost 1-run games. We've been walked off on the road 3 times in SEC play. You know what I mean? We've been down 7-0, tied at 7-7, had our best hitter at the plate, and then ended up losing, 8-7. Like, we've been through the fire, and sometimes that hardens you. And right now, it's like, hey, let's go for it. And that's kind of the messaging, is like this attacking this opportunity, and bigger picture and all that. There's time for that at a later time.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Coach, last one, and we always appreciate for your time. I've got to ask you, and I know you're in the heat of the season. Sometimes it's hard to eye hustle this, but Cade Anderson, 0.37 ERA, Anthony Hyanson, 0.44 ERA. The things that they're doing at a professional level are video game numbers. That might not even do it justice. Do you have a chance to maybe like just check in on them every now and again and just shake your head at, oh my God, look at what they're doing at the professional level?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, those guys made me look smart a lot when they were on the mound. Holy cow. I'm just not surprised at all, is what I would say. But having a front row seat to how those guys do what they do, and it's more than talent. Like, there's a lot of talented players at that level. It's the discipline. Those guys are always going to do what they're supposed to do. There's the ability to just focus on what they can control and what matters. And we're just talking about maturity and mental strength at this level. Like, those guys have it. And
right.
I mean, whatever it is, they have it. Like, it's almost like when they're in a minor league, it's like, hey man, just give me that call when you make it to the big leagues and we'll be there to support you, because like that's a foregone conclusion.
Oh,
and I like with Anthony in the draft last year, I was just like, man, somebody's really missing something, and the Red Sox got to be licking their chops. And the former assistant GM of the Mariners, had texted me after they met with Cade. It was very shortly after the College World Series, and like, this guy's not going to be available with the third pick. Somebody's going to take him.
Right.
But man, what an impressive dude. And then he called me immediately after the pick, and I didn't remember the teams. He's like, man, I can't believe these guys screwed this up. You know, like, I mean, and like, they're just through the moon. Both organizations are through the moon for those guys, and they absolutely should be.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Coach. We went along with you. We certainly appreciate your time. Enjoy this weekend. Best of luck this weekend, and we'll catch up again with you next week.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good day.
All right, you as well. Jay Johnson, head baseball coach for your LSU Tigers, and we kept him 20 minutes. Appreciate that, Coach.
Hey, big deal, though. Huge deal came out of that interview.
Oh, yeah.
He knows my name.
I thought you were going to say the really good question that I got.
No, well, the good question you got.
No, really good question, he said.
Really good question. But he knows my name.
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
Yeah. Well,
not all the coaches do.
That's fair.
See, you got.
I got it now.
There, I saw it in your eyes. You
You're
didn't
not
know where I was going with that.
You're not. I was like, yeah, of course he knows you. You're not.
I'm not to him.
You're Flynn.
Yeah. Big day for me. It's gonna be a good day.
You do have a little pep in your step.
A little pep in my step now, baby.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do some push-ups.
Cade Anderson has a .37
It's unbelievable.
ERA,
Dude.
and
He's through 5 games, right?
And Anthony Ianson has a .44 ERA.
Yeah. Cade's pitched 5 now, didn't he? Did he
I believe
pitch
both
last
of them.
night or 2 nights ago?
I believe. I just had Cade's pulled up.
Yeah, I just had I think it was last night. I had a new alert hit me.
Cade Anderson has started 5 games, pitched 24 and a third, only given up 13 hits, only 1 earned run, only walked 4, has struck out 38. His batting average against is 157. For Anthony Ianson, he's pitched 5 games, .44 ERA, 20 and a third, struck out 34.
Decent.
Pretty
Decent.
okay.
Decent.
And that's not like in like the Florida League. That's not like in high A. It's in double A. Where a lot of times that's where like your best young players are. Mm-hmm. It's remarkable.
So I think now they're both of them I think are top 5 prospects now. I think that's
If they're not, I don't trust the list.
yeah, top 2 probably.
All right, we will take a break. More OTB when we jump back here live from the Raising Cane studio.
Off the bench.
All right, don't forget about our friends over at Emerson Heating and Air. How could you? Because they're always going to remember you. They're going to be on time. They're going to have incredible customer service. That's what they've had for me. It's what they've had for Matt. And I had a couple of different things. One time I was out of town. I was at the draft working, and one of our AC units, it had a battery die, and we didn't know what it was, and it was such a quick fix. Okay, well, fast forward 2 weeks later, the other side of the house, the other AC unit, it had a clog in the drain, right? The pan's filling up. Well, they come in, they drain it, they fix it. 5 minutes. It was 5 minutes, professional the entire time. They've got the OTB $89 spring service special as well. Ask them about that. That's normally $130. And you can find all this information at emsair.net.
Yesterday was that first day. I was like, yep, it's coming. It's coming because it was hot, a little bit muggy. Make sure your air conditioning is working at top speed. And the best to do that, Emerson Heating and Air, emsair.net.
2007 champs, purple and gold to the core. This is Off the Bench with Hester and Flynn. Baton Rouge's go-to for all things Louisiana sports.
Been 2 weeks gone and he thought he'd stop at Webb's and have him a drink before he went on to her. Andy Wolo said hello. He said hi.
Eves.
When Wo said sit down, I got some bad
Shout out to Reba.
news that's gonna hurt.
I got a little just a little quick tidbit on a Vrabel news.
All right, well, before you get to that, get your Munchie questions inside of the chat. You can text some as well if you'd prefer that, if you're not by your computer. 225-499-1045. Get those Munchie questions in. We'll get to as many as we can with Chef Michael Johnson in the next segment. But let's go to TMZ.
Yep.
This is a
Kalshi.
slapper.
Kalshi has new odds of Mike Vrabel being the head coach.
Oh, okay.
5 days ago, 77% chance that he would be the head coach at game 1. Down to 64.
Ooh.
64% chance. The betting odds that Mike Vrabel is the week 1 head coach for the New England Patriots. How's it?
What do you think that's going to be when the next piece of news drops?
It's going to keep. I don't think it's going to get higher unless we hear nothing until June,
right?
At least.
Yeah. All right.
64%. That's not great.
Guys, I
say it's a 0% chance.
Have a couple of texts from when we were talking about I forgot to pull the tab up, but when we were talking about the Dianna Russini, Mike Vrabel stuff earlier, I just realized Dianna Russini is my hear me out. That's from Cajun Merck. So that's somebody's hear me out is Dianna Russini. And then somebody said, Alondra, do we think the next news drop on Vrabel and Russini is photos from one of those JCPenney Sears photo shoots, just jeans and awkward poses? Yeah, it might be. And then somebody said, didn't realize we were a soap opera radio station. And I said, if you tune into OTB expecting straight sports, that's on you. Mm-hmm. I mean, that is sports technically. But yeah, we get TMZ up in
that
here.
Was very sporty.
Mike Vrabel's an NFL head coach.
New England Patriots.
Went to the Super Bowl.
Matt even told you why people in the locker room are going to start losing respect for him.
Yeah. It's not the kind of stuff you get everywhere, people. But yeah,
also,
we
like,
could be soap
we like to
opera-ish.
be we like to be gossipy.
We like a little hot gossip.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Well, even if it's not true, that's why it's gossip.
Right.
Yeah.
It's fun to talk about.
I mean, this is pretty true.
This is.
Yeah.
We didn't think at first. We thought it was just a little goss. A little strange, but just a little gossip.
Right.
It was just two friends like saying what's up.
Now, in fact, I think we can all believe now that they might have had extramarital affairs.
Maybe.
You
Allegedly.
just got convinced.
Maybe with permission from their spouses.
Dianna had permission.
Or a look the other way. She was probably encouraged, I feel like.
Probably.
All right.
Yep.
So go ahead and get your Munchie questions in. Like I said, you can get them in on the YouTube chat, obviously. Also, 225-499-1045. We're going to have Chef Michael Johnson join us for Munchies when we come back here on OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, go to centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org, 225-230-9957, 225-230-9957, 24/7 emergency service number. Weekend, holiday, game day, does not matter. If you have an emergency, they will be there. Now, they're not only in emergencies. If you're looking to upgrade at your home, at your business, they can come in, they can do that. If you're starting from the ground up, they can come do that as well. And not only in Central, we always say it, in the entire greater Baton Rouge area, we are talking to you, centralplumbing.org.
Central Plumbing, your expert plumbers in the greater Baton Rouge area. They've been doing it a long time. Third generation company, commercial, residential, water lines, gas lines. Got some old pipes? They can fix it. Got to lay some new pipes? They can do that as well. Doesn't matter. If you have a little project happening, how about a tankless water heater? You get tired of running out of hot water in the evening, having to wash clothes, get the children bathed, wash dishes, all that good stuff. Never again. Central Plumbing, centralplumbing.org.
– 2007 champs, purple and gold to the core. This is Off the Bench with Hester and Flynn. Baton Rouge's go-to for all things Louisiana sports.
Girl, your memory won't ever haunt me, 'cause I don't love you, and I feel by that. I got some oceanfront property in Arizona. From my front porch you can see the sea. I got some oceanfront property in Arizona. If you'll buy that, I'll throw the Golden Gate in free.
All right, welcome back in. OTB here live from the Raising Cane studio. Let's go to our guy, Chef Michael Johnson. It's time now for your munchie question.
Get ready to tantalize your taste buds and leave this segment hungry. This is Munchies with Executive Chef Michael Johnson. Let's eat.
Chef, what's going on, brother? How you doing? How you
I'm
living?
good. I'm living well, brother. Blessed.
Chef, typically, like once a month, I feel like we catch you where you're on a boat and you're fishing with somebody, and I don't feel like we've had that in a minute. Are you okay?
I know, man. It's been a while, you know. It's just been a busy life for me here. But I do have something scheduled for the end of the month, so
that's
worry
right.
not.
Are you hunting, fishing? Which one?
Fishing, yeah.
There we go.
Snapper season just opened up, so I'm salivating to get offshore and go chase some snapper.
There you go. Chef, hey, I'm fired up that you got me the introduction. I'm fired up for next week. I'm going down to New Orleans with a bunch of other chefs, the performance dietitians and the Performance Chefs Summit Conference next week. I'm fired up. Tell me, I never knew this existed for the Performance Chefs. Tell me kind of about what y'all do. Y'all get together once a year and just kind of talk about what works, what doesn't work.
Yeah, this is actually the first time we've done it. So when Dr. Frakes was here, he was Coach Kelly's dietitian. He's a PhD, super brilliant guy. He got me engaged in this community of performance chefs, and it's really we kind of started from the ground up. It's not my design, but I've been a part of it, and I'm on the board of directors. And so it's just kind of a co-op of chefs, if you will, or a guild of chefs. They're all performance chefs who are helping define what a performance chef is, helping kind of navigate what that means. You know, they also help businesses like LSU or companies that are looking for performance chefs locate performance chefs. But this is our first time to do it, and it's going to be in New Orleans, and it's paralleling the National Dietitians meetings, which is also in New Orleans. So it's, I'm really excited about it. I'm helping organize, and I'm helping supply some of the labor for the food, labor for the dinner. So some of my chefs are going to go down there and work with NOCI, which is the New Orleans Culinary Institute. So I'm really excited about it, man. And I don't know if you know this or not, but you know who Royce Gracie is?
Oh yeah, I do, for sure.
Yeah. So Royce Gracie is coming as one of the speakers as well. And like UFC 1, 3, and 4, I think. Right. Yeah, like this guy is a legend. He reshaped, modern mixed martial arts. And so, yeah, I'm just, there's going to be some cool people there. Deion Sanders, chef that's from Colorado, is going to be there. There's some chefs from Australia and UK that are going to be there. So it's just a group of minds that are kind of like-minded but come from different walks of life that we're getting together to kind of, have a conversation about anything and everything that's business oriented around being a performance chef.
I'm excited about it because I've been to the dietitians meeting the last couple of years with my business. So this kind of butts up to it. And look, y'all asked me to be on a panel for a little Q&A. So I'm about to drop a lot of knowledge out here. You definitely need to hear from this old washed up football player. So.
Well, I talked you up, man. I've talked food with you before, brother. So, I have every ounce of confidence that you're going to be able to hold your own up. So I'm sure.
Okay. Ooh, God bless you, Chef. That's a lot of confidence in a person that, we'll see how it goes. We shall see how it goes. All right. Hashtag Munchies. Do you make your own salsa? And if so, what do you put in it? That's a good question.
I do and I don't. It depends on how much of a crunch I'm in. Like if it's at the house, I might buy it. But here at the nutrition center, it just kind of depends. If I'm making my own salsa, it's not going to be a cooked salsa. It's going to be like a salsa crudité. And I like putting all kinds of chili peppers in it and, like sweet onions instead of just regular onions. Like Roma tomatoes instead of red tomatoes or it's going to be bougie salsa. That's what it's going to be, Yeah. But I do like to put some smoked chilies in there.
There you go. A good homemade salsa. If you do it right, it's hard to do it right, but do it right. It's pretty legit.
Yeah.
All right. Hashtag Munchie. Chef, I'm always interested in what I can do from the garden to the kitchen. Do you have anything out of the ordinary in mind for okra?
Okra. Man, okra's a tough one because, people, I don't know. It's kind of a weird deal, like if it's eaten fresh, it's very stalky and fibrous and has the like that gelatinous liquid that comes out of it. I don't, like pickled okra is the thing that comes to mind to me that I think, once you run out of frying it and sauteing it and stewed okra and tomatoes or whatever, all your traditionals, I really, really love to pickle okra, like a really spiced pickle okra. Okra's, like outside the box, nothing's coming to me out of my mind. But, I'll get off the phone here and in an hour, I'll be like, oh, you know what? So,
But hey, speaking of that, so you did text us last week. We had a question for you last week that it was an out of the ordinary question because we talked about sous vide, but you text us later. You're like, hey, I got like 5 or 6 great ideas of different ways to use a sous vide outside of just like proteins and veggies.
So first of all, this happens to me all the time. Coming up with ideas in the moments. Like sometimes I get it and sometimes I don't. But almost always when I'm not, within a couple of hours, I'm like, I can't believe I didn't think about that. But so cold brew. One of the best cold brew coffees I've ever done was sous vide. You can control the heat, which controls how much bitter comes out of the coffee. So you grind your coffee grinds and put them into a vacuum seal bag with a small amount of water. And then you put them into your sous vide machine and you cook it or heat it, and it extracts the coffee out of the bean. And then you put it through a strainer or a filter, and what you're doing is you're making this extremely like compounded coffee, and then you can put like syrup water in with it, and whether you like it hot or cold, that matter or not, but it goes really well cold. But cold brew coffee through the sous vide machine
What's the temperature? And so how does that specific heat control the bitterness of the coffee?
Because I think above 160 degrees, I'm not certain of the temperatures off the top of my head, but above a certain, like if you steep something for too long under intense heat, it's going to pull the bitters out. But at a lower temperature, with a longer amount of time, it's going to slowly pull that coffee out without pulling the bitter out with it. If it gets too hot, it will go bitter. And tea's the same way. This applies to tea as well. So it like 130 degrees, 140 degrees, somewhere in there, you're pulling it out nice and slow and low, and you're not going to get the bitter out. And when you put the syrup water in with it, to thin it out to what a normal cup of coffee would be, you're adding the sugar into it. Some people put the sugar in with the steep. I don't prefer to. I like to control the sugar later. It's kind of like making moonshine, right? Like you make it strong and then you thin it out with water and then you have your coffee. And cold brew coffee is exceptional that way.
I feel like low and slow is almost the right answer for all cooking questions, but I'm shocked to hear that it's the right answer for coffee as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not every answer, but I think it's the best answer most of the time, right? Like slow and low is just, it's almost always going to be better. You take your time, you're paying attention to details. When you're rushing through something, regardless of what it is, it's almost inevitable that you're going to make errors and mistakes, and it almost always presents like a subpar product. So yeah.
I got one here. #Munchies. How do you know when to pick potatoes and onions from the garden?
Potatoes and onions. I think there's a time frame there. Like my gardening skills for potatoes date back to when I was a child, and I don't have any potatoes in the ground. But I think one is firmness. Like you need to check firmness and size. I think a lot of it's common sense, but there is a growing period, right? Like a gestation period, if you will, for potatoes and onions. That it needs to be a certain firmness and softness, both. But I'm not a master gardener, so I don't have all those questions.
#Munchies. Do you ever make butter chicken, the Indian dish?
I have before. It's been a while. When I lived in Seattle and we were kind of saturated with all those ethnic foods around us, there was a need to, right? And we don't have as much of a calling for it down here, but I do love butter chicken for sure.
Oh yeah.
I like Indian food as a whole, just to be honest with you. I did business with an Indian guy in Seattle, and so much so that he invited me to his daughter's wedding. And I have a traditional Indian wedding outfit at my house.
Oh, heck yeah, you do.
Well done, Chef. Hashtag Munchies. What is your seasoning choice for whole baked or rotisserie chicken?
I mean, it kind of depends on if I'm at the house. You know, like I don't keep the pantry of spices at my house that I do at work. And truth be known, the shoemaker's kids don't have any shoes, right? So I don't cook as much at home as I do here. But you know, I like a little bit of lemon or citrus or even orange pith in my spice mix with chicken. It tolerates it really well.
Yep.
Certainly it's going to be brined. I like to brine my chicken. You guys know that.
Yep.
Garlic and chili powder. I like paprika in there too. It's like a smoked paprika. Onion powder. Just kind of your typical things. But I'll tell you this too. If you can get your hands on some black garlic, it's kind of it's fermented garlic, right? And it's kind of it's tart. Yeah.
Fermented garlic.
Oh man, look, I'm salivating talking about it because that's how I feel. That's how strongly I feel about it. Like it's absolutely delicious.
Writing that down right now.
Yeah.
I've heard of black garlic. All right.
Black garlic, it's exceptional. But
why we waited this long for you to bring up black garlic?
I've been doing this for 8 years.
You can exchange lemon for black garlic easily because it kind of offers the same tartness, right? Like
I don't want lemon. I want black garlic.
Black garlic.
Yeah, you should. It's better. It's a better product for sure.
All right, I'm looking that up right now, Chef. I'm hungry as always. We appreciate you. We love you, brother. We'll catch up again with you next week.
Yeah, see you next week, Chef.
Yeah, looking forward to it, bud. Take care.
Chef Michael Johnson, one of our absolute favorites. Good enough to join us every single week, and I am looking up black garlic.
Regular garlic that has been aged under controlled heat and humidity for several weeks, transforming into a soft black cloves with a sweet, savory, tangy flavor profile similar to balsamic vinegar or molasses with a chewy texture.
Not watch Bob's Burgers. I don't know. I really don't even know what that is, Alondra. But I do know that we got to take a break.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. More OTB when we jump back here live from the Risen King studio.
Off the bench.
All right, go to GCOPnet.com.
Yeah, you know me.
GCOPnet.com, Gulf Coast Office Products, your absolute leader in office solutions and office technology and, office customer service as well. Because, like, typically when you have a problem, you got to call somebody, they transfer you 17 times, and you're like, I just want to speak to somebody that's going to help me. Well, the person you first call when you call GCOP is actually the person that's going to help you, and that's at every location, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Mandeville, Lafayette. They are the same, GCOPnet.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products. If you work in an office, if you're an office manager, if you own a business, you know that if that paper trail stops, the office stops working efficiently. They stop working at top speed, and it slows everything down. When that paper trail stops, work stops. So make sure you're working with the best. Gulf Coast Office Products, from technology, their award-winning customer service. When you call them, you talk to a human being. So if there's a problem, they can fix it fast. They are the best around. Gulf Coast Office Products, GCOPnet.com.
From the locker room to the airwaves, it's Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
All right, welcome back in. If you are looking for more than just a job, well, Pala, join their team. Guess what? You're not just another number. You're an employee owner and part of a real team. Pala's hiring skilled welders and fitters at their fabrication shop in Hammond, Louisiana. Pay runs up to $40 an hour with overtime locked in through 2027, plus 6 paid holidays, 2 weeks paid vacation, full benefits, and employee ownership through their ESOP. If you can burn rod, fit steel, and take pride in your work, apply now and build your future with Pala. Employee-owned, relationship-driven, building together at palagroup.com, P-A-L-A group.com. Great song.
Okay.
All right, let's get a little Ask the Bench. Of course, Ask the Bench when we do it. It's always brought to you by... You got to finish the sound effect. Thank you.
I was going to say
Ice cold Dos
Equis.
Equis. It is always go for Dos. Probably
Why do I get drunk? Because Dos Equis.
Because it's delicious.
I don't always drink beer.
But when I do,
it's Dos Equis.
A lot of people probably going out to eat on Sunday, Mother's Day.
Yeah. We didn't really talk about May 5th. Cinco Cinco de Mayo.
Because
Shenanigans.
Marler
You almost said Cinco de Marler.
Marler tried
almost
to
said-
steal.
I saw that
He tried to
happening.
steal that as well
I
as he
almost
did our
said
Monday
Mayo,
shows.
which would have been dumb.
Yeah, that would have been dumb.
So I said Mayo.
Oh, no.
Well, Marler trying to take another day is where my mind
So-
went.
Mexicans can't have nothing.
He got no socks, but about 35 days.
No socks. Oh,
Bro.
I hope he has odor eaters.
No, he doesn't.
Odor eaters aren't helping that.
That's probably true. It's probably very fair.
Hashtag Ask the Bench. Favorite cartoon growing up?
SpongeBob.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
was a
tough one.
SpongeBob guy.
That is so tough. I mean, favorite cartoon. I mean, G.I. Joe, probably. That counts.
Yeah, I mean, I was a big Simpsons guy. Let's go Rugrats, Doug Funny.
Oh, Doug. Rugrats is great.
Ren and
I wouldn't-
Stimpy was
Ren
a
and Stimpy was
sleeper,
great.
even though like going back and
Rocko's
watching
Modern Life.
Rocko's Modern Life.
Good.
Ren and Stimpy, like go back and watch it now. It's like, ooh, I watched that as a kid. My parents let me watch this.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, it was in the 90s. Nobody cared.
There's probably a lot that I'm missing as well, but
Oh, for sure.
different stages of life as well.
Right.
As an adult, Family Guy.
I didn't, yeah, as an adult, I didn't really do any of that.
Hashtag
As
Mother's Day
much.
gift ideas, please.
I always loved The Simpsons, brother. Mother's Day, just something of thought. Something that you put some time
It's
into,
easy
some
to
thought
say,
into. Yeah, I know, but I feel like it doesn't have to be a lot of money. If you put thought and effort into it, that's like the battle. No?
Free back rub, 1 coupon.
I wasn't talking about that.
Like what's something thoughtful? That's tough.
Well, I don't know. Every situation is different.
You know what's not different? Our love for America.
I mean,
Like,
I don't know
and
about
by that,
Taylor's.
it means Alondra, mine, and Flynn's.
Go to USA.
Off the bench.
Definitely in no way, shape, or form Tay-Tay's love for America. All right, May is Stroke Awareness Month, and Osher wants you to know the signs because fast action can save a life. Remember, FAST, face dropping, arm weakness, speech difficulty, time to call 911. If you or someone you know shows any of those symptoms, don't wait. Every second matters when it comes to stroke care. Ochsner is leading the way with advanced stroke treatment and care across Louisiana, helping patients get the help they need as quickly as possible. Learn more about stroke warning signs and how to protect yourself at ochsner.org. Ochsner, your partner in health when it matters the most.
That's right. Maybe a National Stroke Awareness Month. Ochsner just wants you to stay healthy and be proactive in what we do. Look for the signs that are there. And at Ochsner, they just want you to be healthy. So if you got something happening, you go to their website. They'll tell you what clinic to go to, where to go to, ochsner.org.